All right, guys, so this will be the last part of our calculator app. It's really neat. This is going to be a very simple calculator application, but it is something that you can go ahead and show your friends. It's something that you can build off of. It teaches you the basics of user input handling. And that is the first part of C++ is really user input handling, right? So let's go ahead and start off. We're going to start off with what we had last time, as we've done previously. We'll go ahead and throw that over here, close this, get you guys zoomed in here. Now, this is going to feel really weird because we've spent all this time building this application, right? And we've got all these awesome functions and it works really slick. Trust me on this, we're going to make a better application. So we're going to start by trashing all of our functions. This is going to feel weird, I know, because we just spent all this time writing them. But there's a different, more effective way for us to handle this input. We're also going to get rid of getNum. We don't need it, okay? And it's a little bit confusing, but I'll show you why. We're going to change choice from an int to a char. That's a character, it's one symbol, okay? So it's any key press on the keyboard is a character. And we're going to get that choice. Now, we need only 2 integers, so we're going to get rid of that. Then we are going to get rid of basically all of this. And this in here also. That's okay. Trust me, it's all gonna work out. We'll get rid of everything in here, and in here, and in here. Now that we've gone through and we've stripped the program back to its very basics, okay, we're going to change the way that this program works. We're going to get rid of everything here, and this is going to be a little bit more simple. Actually, we'll get rid of everything after here. This is going to be a much more simple user experience, but it does take some thinking. Okay, so now that we've gone through a more full version of this program, full in the sense that it was more code and we wrote actual functions and that sort of thing. Now we're going to do something a little bit different. Okay, so this is how the user is going to enter their input. They're going to enter the symbol, so plus, minus, times. They're going to enter one of those things. So we'll start off with minus. So we're going to do minus, and then they're going to do 5 space 10 space, or 5 space 10 enter, and this is going to subtract 10 from 5. Okay, so that's how this is going to work. It's a little bit different than what we have been doing, but it's much more smooth for the user, which is the end goal of software engineering, right? Because if your app's not usable, or if users don't like the way your app works, then there's no reason for it to exist, right? You can have the most fancy app in the whole wide world, but if it's not user-friendly, no one's going to use it, right? And so this is going to make this app a whole bunch more user-friendly. Now we're going to output, please enter one of the following. Plus, comma, minus, comma, times, comma, divide, comma, or at to end the program. Then we're going to say, down here we'll change choice. We're going to change it to that, minus. So this is going to say, or pardon me, plus. So this is going to say if the character they entered is a plus symbol, then we're going to add. If the character they entered is a minus symbol, we're going to subtract. If the character they entered is a multiply symbol, we're going to multiply, and if the character they entered is a divide symbol, then we are going to divide. Now, this is rather simple, right? So it's similar to what we've been doing, but the user doesn't have to read the menu every time to understand what's going on. Now, while the choice is not the @ symbol, right? Because we said that the @ symbol would end the program. So that's that. We're going to have a number 1 and a number 2. Now, we are going to do cin number 1, and then this is a quicker way to cn. So it's going to get the first number, and then it's going to get the second number and put them into where they go. So there's that. And then we're just going to see out. This is simple here. We're just going to see out number 1 plus number 2. And that will do everything that our functions were doing before. Now, as you can see, this is a much simpler way to handle this. So we've got add, subtract, and we need to make sure that we are changing these symbols as we go along. And then multiply. And we will go ahead and throw in the multiply symbol there. And divide. It's important to remember that this is not the full divide, but the integer divide. The full divide can be accomplished in other ways. But for this situation, we're just getting integers. We'll change that after we get this all finished up. So then we'll say it's not a number, it's a symbol. The symbol you entered is invalid. And then we will copy this down here. And then we need to change this. So after the end line, we'll say then enter two numbers separated by a space. And line, and that should do it. So we'll go ahead and save this. Pull this over here to the side. Pull up our terminal. There it is. And let's zoom in. All right, now we need to lscd desktop dash part 8. ls, all right, we're in. We're going to g++ part 8.cpp. All right, so number 2 is what I must have missed that symbol. So number 2. And we need to save it again. We'll try it again. And it compiles. Awesome. Now we are going to do sudo a.out. Okay, so this app allows you to add or subtract two numbers. Now we need to change that just to polish this up. Please enter one of the following: plus, minus, multiply, divide, or at to end the program. Then enter two numbers separated by a space. So we will go -1 space 2, -1. And then it's going to show us this again. So we can go multiply 5 by 5 is 25. Awesome. So this is a different way of calculating than our typical 5 plus 5. And it did what it was supposed to there, telling us our symbol is invalid. But this is how we could do it, but it does get a little bit hairy when you add things like 5 plus 5 divided by 10. That sort of thing is going to cause problems because it ran on, and our program's just not designed to do that. So, like we said, we've got a working calculator where we can go subtract 10 from 300, and we get 290. So, yeah, this app is rather simple, but the thing that we can learn from this is there's more elegant ways of doing things than creating functions and objects for everything. So like we've got something here that's essentially one page, 47 lines of code with excess spacing and stuff in there. So It's not bad. For what it is, it's very simple, very elegant, but there was the way before also, and that took us probably 60 or 70 lines of code. And we can see the difference here in the ease of reading this, so long as we know what's going on. Now, this will be the end of the simple C++ introduction. The next portion that we're going to be working on is file management, so simple file input output, that sort of stuff. And along with that will come, I haven't quite decided if it'll be in that series or another series, but then we're going to get into object-oriented programming, and things of that nature. So thank you guys for watching, and we will see you in the next one.